This is an introduction to basic components. The electronic age continues to grow, and therefore, so does the number of new products and electronic components. More and more complex devices are becoming available not only in the industry but also to teachers, instructors, researchers, students, and even hobbyists. Of course, we would want to look at components somehow in an untechnical way so that we can be able to understand how they operate and work. Before we can move to the components, an assumption is that you know all about electrical current, which is measured in amps, electrical voltage, volts, electrical power, watts, and AC for alternating current, DC for direct current. Of course, all the components are grouped, and in those groups you find that we'll end up having an electrical gadget or a working circuit. So basically, the components associated with electronics can be divided up in the following groups. 1. Passive components. Examples of passive components include resistors, capacitors. Number 2, active components. Example of active components includes semiconductors and thermionic valves. Semiconductors include components such as diodes, transistors, triacs, integrated circuits, and so on. Another grouping that is so important is electromagnetic components, e.g., coils, relays, and transformers. Another important grouping of components is what we call the mechanical components. Mechanical components comprises switches, plugs, sockets, and so on. Then lastly, we have assembly aids. The assembly aids are the ones that will help us so that we put the whole circuit together. They include printed circuit boards, tag strips, strip boards, wires, and casings. So, in each of these groupings, which are not all inclusive, the component types can further be split into subgroups. For example, resistor as a group include such items as fixed resistors whose values are solely determined in manufacture, variable resistors whose value can be changed by the user, sensing resistors whose value is determined by external conditions such as temperature, light, and voltage levels. Capacitors also will have subgroups. In the next tutorials, we shall talk about resistors and potentiometers, varistors, thermistors, light-dependent resistors, capacitors, diodes including Zener diodes, light-emitting diodes, bridge rectifiers, transistors including field effect transistors, unijunction, Darlington, light-sensitive transistors. We shall also look at thyristors, triacs, diacs, integrated circuits, coils, liquid crystal displays, Hall effect sensors, and so many other components that are used in the construction of electronic circuits.